This is a pool table I purchased off of Craigslist. This is an 8-foot Olhausen. I paid $700 for this on Craigslist, and that's a pretty screaming deal for an Olhausen. Olhausens are considered one of the better mass-produced tables in America, or the world for that matter. I paid $700 for this, and that's about what the tax would be on this table new. This Olhausen is a Augusta frame and rails with Stratford legs. The guy I bought it from ordered it that way. I believe the legs normally on this are kind of blocky, and Olhausen will custom do a table any way you want it. But this table originally had a honey-colored pockets. They were almost, well, they were very light-colored, but they were worn out. The guy had this in a sunroom where the sun had just destroyed the pockets. I replaced these pockets. They were fairly reasonable online. I think they were about $150 for some tooled leather pockets that were easy to put on this Olhausen. Olhausens are pretty friendly to add pockets to and work on. I did the slate and cloth on this table. This is Simonis 760. I believe I have it right. It's the fastest cloth they make, and it's some of the hardest cloth to put on. When I brought this table home, it had some, what I would call bar top type cloth on it. It's very stretchy, very easy, and it was what he had on it. It came off fairly friendly, and I put it back on, so it gave me a little practice on how to do it, but it was nothing like trying to put Simonis cloth on. It's very difficult to do, and they warn people on their site, and when you talk to them, if you haven't done this, don't attempt it. Well, you can go on YouTube and see how to do about 70% of it. And they do show you just about everything, but obviously the pockets are the hardest part to cut out, and the rails are a bit of a, they're not hard, but they're tedious, is what I would say about the rails. I put the original cloth on. It was very easy, and I played on it for a while, but it was super slow, very fuzzy cloth. So I ordered some Olhausen cloth, and I installed it. Well, like anything, you learn by doing things, and I learned what not to do with that cloth. I got away with doing it, but it wasn't what I would call, I wasn't proud of the job I did. So I ordered, and I that was a green colored cloth like this. I ordered blue in this Olhausen, excuse me, in this Simonis 760. I ordered it blue, and when I got it, the cloth went beyond the slate easily on both ends and sides 4 inches, so there was lots of extra cloth, and it did make it easier to do. I like the blue, and I love the fast top. It's really, really fun to play on a fast top. I like the blue. However, the blue shows chalk more than green does. Green is the best color to go with, and I was advised by the guys that I was going through, go with green. You won't regret it. It doesn't show chalk. And I've shot on red tabletops, and red is some of the worst color. Black's obviously really bad too, and to get chalk colored, they have to bleach it, and that takes out the stickum qualities that chalk has, and green has the least amount of that, and green really sticks well to the. I've shot on red tabletops where you chalk up, you shoot and you miscue, and you swear I just chalked it, and it's because the chalk just doesn't adhere very well to the tip, and so when you pick a color like that, you end up with color all over the table, and you're constantly brushing because it looks funny, the top looks dirty. I can shoot for days and days and days on this, and then I'll start to see, and I actually see lint and stuff like that more than I do chalk on this table. I will show you a different angle from the pockets, but when I did this, the final color. This was very difficult to do. However, it came out. It was the best job I've done. And the side pockets, what made it very difficult was when I ordered it, this time the cloth only came over the edge about an inch. So it made it, you really had to make sure that when you did one side, you didn't burn yourself when you went to the other side, because once you cut it, it's done. And it's about $300 for this cloth, but I love this cloth. You can draw a ball back the entire length of the table. Really, really nice quality. And I shoot on this table every day, and I've had this table for a couple of years now, and my game really, really got good by having a table in my house. I played on leagues and I shot in bars a lot, but bar tables are much different than a table like this. Really a fine shooting table, but having a table in your home and practicing every day made a big difference in my game. It really started to you could see improvements really quickly. Anyway, I'll set up my camera on the other end and I'll talk a little more about when you first make the cuts. But when you first put this cloth on, you lay it down and you anchor the short end and you pull tight on the other end and anchor that in, and that's how you start it. But I'll set my camera up on the other end and talk a little more about cutting the pockets out. So once you have the cloth stretched from short end to short end, this is the pocket you start cutting on. These side pockets is where you start on. And what you have to be very careful about doing is not cutting up too high so that you see your cut in the edge of the pocket, and that you don't pull too much material this way, so when you stretch the other way you don't have enough material to make the pocket. And what's scary is you kind of have to make these diagonal cuts into the pocket so that you can staple and pull, and you just do a ton of stapling. And when I do this again, and I don't plan on doing this top for, I would guess, a couple more years, I'm gonna buy an electric stapler, and they're only only $100, I think. Doing it by hand with a staple gun just wears your hands out, because you staple like mad, and sometimes you pull and pull and staple, then you pull those staples out, then you add more staples, and you staple and stretch and pull. And the stretching is really the getting the wrinkles out of the top is really what's the battle is. And the wrinkles that occur are right in this area and that area of the side pockets. The corner pockets are a little easier to do and a little easier to get the wrinkles out of, but this is where the wrinkles are really a little harder to do. But you can see these pockets are quite nice. They're leather tooled, and they were only $150, and they were easy to change. So when I got this cloth and the material only covered the slate an inch on both sides, I kind of panicked, and I called the guy that I got this through, the dealer, and he said, look, that's how it comes, that's how the pros do it, buck up and you got to do it. And I was like, oh, okay. But you have to be really careful that you don't pull too much material this way, so that when you get on the other side, you've gooned yourself and you've cut it, and now you don't have enough material to make the pocket and hide. And it's tucking up the material, getting enough material to tuck under and getting the wrinkles out. But this came out really, really nice. I'm really happy with the rails. Came out really nice. The rails, like I said, are just tedious, and they're not super hard to do, but they are a little bit tedious. Anyway, I guess that's about it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.